All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Metroid Dread Speedgaming 2023 tourney qualifiers. We are in qualifier number 5 today. This is exciting stuff for me. First time commentating for qualifiers. I think this is going to be a great setup. We got Fortify, R-Candy, Manny, and B-Dog, all very good runners. People I've seen race many times. And we'll see how things go for them getting warmed up. I'm getting warmed up. Maybe you're getting warmed up, ready to watch, but should be a good race today. Hopefully we get to see some good times, maybe a PB somewhere in there. There's a lot of fun tech in this run, so seeing 4 people all go at it should be interesting to keep up with. Then we'll see if I can do a good job representing all of what's going on, trying to help you see what's going on. But I love this game, have loved it for a while, but didn't really get into speed gaming stuff until maybe last August, I think it was. So it has been a journey for me, being able to see other runners, learn from the best, start doing it myself. So I'm looking forward to what this tourney has in store for all of us. But the runners look like they're getting close to ready, so we should be ready to go in just a minute here. Good luck to all of them, and I hope we're able to see some great runs for them, some runs that they can be happy with. Obviously qualifiers, so for this format we have 8 qualifiers for the 2 weekends. Last weekend we had 4, this weekend we're going to have 4 as well. This is the first of 4 more, and you have to run twice of the 8 qualifiers. Each of us need to submit 2. So that's what everybody is trying to do here, just get 2 qualifiers out, and that can determine our seeding for the bracket. So it's pretty exciting stuff. I, for one, am quite nerdy about brackets, so I enjoy seeing how the seedings fall. And we'll get to see that in the next little bit after we finish up here today and then tomorrow, whatever time zone it is for you. But I think we're getting close. Just a little bit longer, then we'll be able to start seeing some racing. But again, I hope everybody is doing well. I really appreciate Speedgaming, and for all of us in Dread, the opportunity to be able to have another tournament like this. This is a really exciting event. For me, this is my first time doing an event like this, so it's been a privilege to be able to do this stuff. First, being able to race, and I was able to restream last week, and now being able to commentate, this is some good stuff. So we will be starting very shortly. So a couple things thinking right off the bat. Artaria is the first area where we start in the race, and it is a stinker. Lots of stuff going on in Dread Artaria. There's a lot of tricks early. It's very packed. So a lot of times when you're doing a race setting, Artaria is a place where you'll probably lose a decent amount of time over a PB kind of run. And that kind of stuff can be frustrating, but you just have to kind of push through and see what the rest of the run can hold. Get warmed up pretty well for the rest of the run. Once we get later game, then you can start to move better with Flash Shift, and you'll see Speed Booster. Those kind of help loosen your fingers up a little bit, instead of just focusing on really tight, regular movement. But we are ready to go. Looks like the runners are all ready, and the race shall commence. Just a minute, we'll be able to see the countdown. Get ready to start. All right. Still working on the overlay here. And there we go. And it looks like we have begun. So every once in a while, we'll have some issues with the restream getting started with the feeds all kind of coordinating. So hopefully they'll be able to sync up well. But once we get started with the load screen, there is a little bit of these load screens for Dread are quite hefty. There's a lot of time for you to be able to think about what you're doing while you do the transitions. Either use teleportals or elevators or trains, I call them, moving from section to section. But it's a good thing and a bad thing, I feel like, because it can either ice you or give you a little chance to kind of get a reprieve. Some runs is just bang bang, you have no chance to recover or think about what you're doing next. So it is kind of nice that it gets sectioned off like that. So we can see, there we go, there's Manny's as well. So waiting on B-Dogs. We're all coming up to the first tutorial parry, taking out the enemy there, and then the Artaria climb is kind of your first getting the basics down. You got to do a lot of ledge jumping, moving quickly up through, I guess you'd call it like a cave. But first, this is the tutorial Emmy, Broken Emmy, as we see Art coming up on it, Fortify Manny right behind him. We have to demonstrate what the Emmy can do to you. So there we get to take a little cutscene and then go in to grab the central unit so that we can take out the Broken Emmy, get a good feel for it. I still remember the first day that I had encountered the Broken Emmy. I had no idea what I was doing. I think I died to this first time. And that's kind of embarrassing, but much faster here. Very nice kills from the three of them. Pretty straightforward for the first section. Now we get to come up on some pseudos, what we call pseudo wave shots, and it is where you will use a slide into a jump up next to a ceiling or kind of like a wall to be able to shoot through the collision. So you actually are bypassing the wall or the ceiling. So you can shoot through. Arc just blazing through that one. Able to get that quickly. See Manny on there is able to get through. Looked like Fortify and B-Dog's feed froze up a little bit. Hopefully it'll get a little more consistent. But now we're at Corpius, who is notorious in our realm. Very difficult to get clean. On second phase, the first phase you just try to take him out with a few missiles, handful of missiles, and if you're able to hit him in a particular animation, it's when he goes to spit. There's a blob of goop where he spits. It'll actually put him in a headlock animation, as we call it, and you're able to get a quick 2-phase kill. Sometimes you have to do it in 3 phases because of the way that the head wobbles. He's very difficult to read because he's invisible a little bit, and that can make it very difficult to track, and we have limited missiles to be able to take him out. Because we're running this on Rookie for this tournament, it gives us a little more leeway, because we have 30 missiles to start, and you need, I believe, is it 26 missiles to take out the second phase of Corpius. If you don't get that, then you have to do the transition to the third phase. So, already moving over towards our next fun little trick, a little water skip to be able to avoid having to go down to the water, which the movement is slower. Everybody moving well so far. Able to see some fun little movement here and there in Artaria. We see this far too often as runners. It is definitely an experience. Okay. Arc, I believe, got that first try. Good stuff there. The others moving through. We see Manny down and moving through the water, approaching the trick as well. Now we're trying to move through the Emmy zone quickly to be able to get down the charge shot, charge beam. That will help us to be able to break a lot more stuff, be able to get through charge doors and other things like that. Alright, so Arc has entered the charge beam room, and Fortify and B-Dog both pretty close behind. Haven't seen yet if Manny quite made it past the trick, or the water skip. Okay, so still working on that. That trick can be a stinker. There's also a cloakless version. We use Phantom Cloak, which we get from Corpius, if we fight Corpius first, where we can actually make the trick a little easier. And by a little, I mean a lot, because the cloakless version, where you do it without Phantom Cloak, is actually frame perfect. So that is not something we really want to do in a live run. Anyways, now the reclimb. You see Arc doing that, and Fortify and B-Dog approaching as well. So we get to do it all over again from the very beginning. And now we're trying to loop. They're looping around to be able to get to the white Emmy. Be able to take that out so that we can get Spider Magnet, which will allow us to grab onto the magnetized walls, the blue balls that you see. Alright, so looks like Manny had gotten Charge Beam right before that, before the feed locked up, so that's good. The others moving through the lava tunnel. Arcs goes up right at the end. It looked like he was never going to go through the door. Good stuff. Alright, so now they use the thermal to change the direction of lava, open up a door. And then we go back up, talk to Adam, who is our best friend for the first part of the game, and then we ditch him, which we will get to in a little bit. But approaching that Adam room then after is another fun little trick that we get to use. I believe it is called Magus Skip. I can't remember what it stands for, but I use some of these tricks, don't know what they're called. It's just kind of my fingers work better than my mind situation. But anyways, there go the runners past Adam. And now we will see them get to do this trick, jumping against the wall and then re-jumping with a spin. Re-spinning in the air allows you to get a little bit more height when there's a wall behind you. So they're able to use, if there's a wall behind them, it kind of bumps them into the ledge. They're able to grab the ledge, a higher ledge than they could just by jumping normally. It's very, very good attempts from all the runners there. Being able to get to the central unit for the white Emmy now. This Emmy is kind of tricky. Surprisingly, it's sneakily tricky. It is just if you miss the quick kill, let's just say it like that. The quick kill is very, very difficult, and if you aren't able to either shoot it right where it is or slide underneath, then you have to jump over it. And I mess up the jumps so many times. So see Arc coming up on this. Okay, he's able to slide under. That's good. B-Dog opted to jump over. Now we'll see Ford approaching that as well. Looks like he could have got good alignment on that. I should be able to slide under. Oh, he chose to jump over as well. Good kills from everybody, though. That should be safe. And Manny is now activating the Emmy. So the reason why they go through that door, that specific door that Manny just went through, to be able to activate the Emmy, so that we can get down to the central unit. If you don't break the blob after you activate the Emmy, it'll actually get very laggy. It's kind of a funny thing to see, trying to run through the area. Alright, so now Spider Magnet has been tamed, and we get to see the Artaria escape. Move on to greener pasture, and by greener I mean a land of fire, is Cataris. But they'll be using a deboost technique to leave Artaria, which is a lot of fun. And get it reasonably consistent. Nice jump over from Manny. Looks like he's going to be able to get the white Emmy pretty safely too. Nice. So no white Emmy deaths this run. We love to see that. Even in a qualifier. Don't want to see any white Emmy shenanigans. Alright, so there's Arc approaching the deboost. First try. Perfect. There are a couple ways you can approach that one. There are several different setups. The one that Arc used, I believe, is the fastest. You can get it pretty consistently. I use one that's a little bit slower and safer, but it is, and Fort used that one as well. Very nice. And B-Dog is in the elevator as well, so I'm going to assume he got it. Good stuff from all the runners so far. Nice Artarias. And Manny is gonna approach that D-boost, leaving as well. Alright, now we're in Cataris. This is a fun area. There's a decent amount of movement, but it can be frustrating. Most specifically because Atom Skip can be a pretty big reset. So as far as I'm aware, this is, if I'm remembering correctly, this is the last Atom room that we see. So as Arc and B-Dog approach this, Fortify will be getting there soon. We talk to Atom and are able to see that dialogue, but we're trying to, when we use Atom Skip, we're trying to avoid having to activate all of the Atom rooms, because all of that dialogue ends up, after not having to use the Atom rooms and such, it does end up saving, I believe, like 3.5 minutes. 2.5, 3, somewhere in that range. A couple minutes. It's a very noticeable save. Very nice. But the trick is notorious. It's definitely, especially when you're running it live, no reset, you gotta get in a good rhythm quickly with it. Very technical trick. But first, we will be doing, so Arc is going to be approaching the lava room. I'll say a hot room run for keeping this PG here. Called other things, but it is a pretty tight timing if you have the rhythm down, as long as you don't get caught. If you get caught somewhere in there, you can end up dying. You lose your health reasonably quickly towards the end. Very nice from Arcandy. Oh, B-Dog. That was very close. Clutch that out. Just made it. Very nice. See if we can have a deathless run here today. I apologize if I miss anything significant from one of the feeds. Keeping up with the fours. There's a lot going on the screen. But lots of good stuff so far. Nothing too dramatic. Everybody's keeping a decent pace. See, Arc is gonna go for the pseudo and the hot. Nice. Second try. That's good stuff. Able to get that pseudo. Also another name, let's say hot room pseudo. Okay, so B-Dog gave it a shot, wasn't quite able to get that. Only lose a couple seconds trying to go for it though. So Arc is already up there, gonna change the thermal, and then he will be approaching Atom Skip soon. Okay, so Manny is in the hot room, made it through safely. And now B-Dog is riding the Spider Magnet up. Fortify about to do the same, and here comes Arc to Atom Skip. Several jumps, very nice. First try. Love to see that. Couple of wall jumps back and forth with using a buffered input. You're able to get a little more height. And once you use that height, you'll actually melee using X to be able to respin quicker. Because the goal is just to hit the max part of at the elbow there, where it kind of slopes down. You want to hit the very top of the wall below that slope. B-Dog able to get it there. I didn't see if that was third, fourth try, but able to get past. Nicely done. Atom Skip can definitely, especially for some of us who might not be as consistent with it, it can definitely kill a run. Take many tries. On a day you might not be feeling it too, if your fingers are struggling, then it could just be you won't get it for that whole time. All right, so Fortify on it as well. This trick has claimed many souls. Let's see if we can get there. Oh, that one almost looked like it was it. Such a stinker of a trick when it's not on. Oh, there it is. Very nice. For runners, it takes a minute. It's frustrating, but gotta be a relief at least just to be able to get past it. So we got 3 of our runners through, past Atom Skip. Now we gotta get Manny through. See if we can. Yes, very nice. I think that was first try. GG Manny. So we're all past Atom Skip. We can put that behind us. We don't have to worry about that again until 8 p.m. All right, so now there's once we get past Atom Skip and Catarus, it's mostly just pretty clean movement. Trying to work your way towards Dairon. You're gonna be able to get, I believe next will be Wide Beam. So you kind of do like a little bit of a loop. These first several areas, Ortaria and Catarus and Dairon, you kind of loop back around a little bit. See every area a couple times before we really branch out into a new one. But Arc should be heading to Dairon now. V-Dog is on his way up there as well. And Fort and Manny not too far behind. So we get to see more pretty standard movement in Dairon. Trying to get to Wide Beam. There's a lot of little things that you can clean up just to move a little bit better. But that is... There's like different checkpoints, I would say, where you kind of, as a runner, you're thinking, you know, what's coming next? And from here, we kind of move pretty calmly until you get to Kraid. The next really big thing when we get back to, we'll move and try to get Varia Suit so that we can be in hot areas without taking damage. And Kraid is the next part where you can really start to sweat. But the movement is still very important, obviously. When you see top runners, when they're moving, they have put a lot of hours, really poured time into being able to move well. And moving well can save you several minutes by the time that you get to the end of this kind of a run. So it is very important. I don't believe I technically mentioned at the beginning of this. It is, I believe it is in the title, but the this tournament is for all bosses. I don't think I specified that, so I apologize for that for anybody who is new or unaware. This is for all bosses, NMG, no major glitches. So this category is to defeat all 30 bosses as quickly as possible, the route that we use. So you'll be seeing some stuff that you wouldn't necessarily see in normal any percent, but this is basically any percent all bosses. So we use a lot of the material that you would see from any percent, just adding in bosses that we need to grab. So there's a couple of variations from any percent that I personally think are really cool. We get to see a couple of the bosses that we don't get to fight in any percent. And honestly, the couple bosses, especially since I had been practicing it this past several weeks, some of the coolest bosses in the game, at least fighting them. When you learn some of the speed tech, it's a lot of fun. Z57 being one of the special bosses that we don't get to see in any percent, but that is quite a bit later into the game. So we have seen Yellow Emmy now. Arcandy has exposed us to Yellow Emmy, the Speedy Emmy, very, very fast. When we go to take that one out later, it can be quite daunting if you don't line yourself up quickly. If the Emmy doesn't have the Omega Cannon that you use to take it out, if you don't have it pointed on it, it moves blazing fast. It can approach you very quickly and put you in a very tight spot. Alright, so Wide Beam has been acquired for a couple of our players. And so now they will go back to take out Green Emmy in Catarus to be able to obtain Morph Ball. Kind of funny how people talk about. I have not personally played every game in the Metroid series, the 2D games. The only other one that I've fully played through is Fusion. But I have seen a decent amount of Super Metroid, and I know people talk about a decent amount of the fact that the Morph Ball placement in this game is kind of funny, because of the fact that it's so much later. But that is what we are going to get in Catarus. So take out the Green Emmy and use Morph Ball to make our way down to get Varia Suit. So it's kind of fun when you see connecting all the dots, trying to figure out a path. Obviously, there are plenty of people who've gone through and figured out exactly what route would make most sense, which power-ups you need, which you don't. For this route, we use Spin Boost, which is essentially a double jump, instead of Space Jump, which is what we use for any percent, unless you're doing Short Boost, which is the most difficult route. For early space, which is the route that I have used for any percent, a little bit less difficult, we do pick up Space Jump, which is essentially infinite jumps. Very nice power up. But Spin Boost is just a double jump. That's something that we don't pick up space, because we already have the Spin Boost from being close to some other things that we need to get done. So we'll see that once we get to Gavarin. But very nice Emmy kills from Ark and I believe B-Dog. I think I just saw that there. So the Morph Ball has been acquired, and now we can roll through Chatteris down towards Artaria. We see Fortify approaching the green Emmy as well. Oops, little fall there. And there is Manny coming into Chatteris. Moving through the morph tunnels can be kind of tricky. It's something that isn't the most important, but again, same thing as was said before with movement. If you're moving well, it's going to save a lot of time. Those details can mean a lot. So Ark is choosing not to go for that 10-pack. There are a lot of people that if they choose to weave, weaving recently for the leaderboards at least was banned for turbo just because of the fact that it's a decent amount easier. There's some technicalities in there, but manual weaving is still allowed. And what it involves is mashing the shot button, which in the normal configuration for a Pro Controller would be Y, and then the missile button as well. So that would be the two buttons that you're mashing kind of back and forth to be able to create what we call a weave. And so if you time your missiles in between all of the regular shots while you're mashing Y, you can create the best damage possible. And so some of the top runners, I believe we'll see it from B-Dog as well as Arcandy, it's something to see. It's very, very difficult to pull off if you're not careful physically. It could hurt your hands, and we obviously do not want to put runners in a position where they feel like they need to hurt their hands to get an edge. So that's something that is also a consideration. But the people that do it it's a remarkable thing. So for those people, usually they don't pick up as many missiles just because they don't need them while they're weaving. You'll be able to see some of that later on in the run. All right, this Varia climb can be a little touchy. But it's mostly just basic movement, a lot of reps, be able to roll through there. There's a lot of places to get hung up on. There's so many walls in this area, but Ark just blazing through that already. Very nice movement. See if you can get the roll. Nice. That was a really good section. And now B-Dog approaching that as well. And we will see Varia suit. Now we get to see Samus in probably a more iconic suit, one that we would recognize her in more. The orange suit. All of these suits in Dread are very sleek. Look very nice. The colors are great. Very good art. I recently got some cool. My wife helped me out by getting some pretty cool posters and an art book for Dread, Metroid Dread, and it is a lot of fun to look through some of that stuff. Just a visually very appealing game for me. All right, the suit has been acquired. And we will now be returning to see Kraid. Big boy. This is a difficult fight. There is some RNG involved that can create a difficult environment. Sometimes you can end up losing up to 5-7 seconds just from RNG. It might be even more depending on how well you're able to play. The RNG in some of the fights usually just means that you have to play a little bit better to be able to make it up, but some of it is just straight time loss, which is really unfortunate. Some of the Emmy spawns can also mean time loss. But alright, so Fort and Manny also heading through the Varia climb, trying to avoid the flames. Get to Varia suit in time. Nicely done. Able to make it through there without too much problem, and I see Fort picked up the Varia suit as well. Alright, so Ark is approaching Kraid now, after some movement through that section. We see that. And now he is going to do some charge missiles, so just doing charge beams and missiles kind of together. If you're able to release the charge shot right before the missile, then you can get both out kind of at the same time. It allows for better, a quicker fire rate. Hopefully we'll be able to see more of that in just a second. B-Dog is well approaching Kraid. We'll be able to see him and how he fights it. Some really fun tech with this. Unfortunately, we weren't able to see Arc climbing the wall with this, what we call a morph climb. Very nice. Arc able to take out Kraid. No, not much problem there. All right, so we see B-Dog is climbing the wall. It's a morph ball climb where if you use the right inputs, you can actually keep climbing up a wall just by morphing and jumping at the same time. Pretty close together inputs, but you can essentially just keep elevating to be able to get up a wall with morph ball. So no need for regular jump when you can just keep going up like that. Pretty precise inputs. It can be easy to fall down. And obviously, if you do, it's an unfortunate time loss. But very nice. Diffusion beam from both Arc and B-Dog. Moving on to grab Grapple. Be fun to see if Fort and Manny are able to make quick work of Kraid as well. Once we get to the next couple segments, so we get Grapple and then Bombs, which allows us to go pick up Flash Shift. So these next couple, it's kind of building up towards Flash Shift and Speed Booster. Those are the two main movement tech pieces of tech we use for the second half of the game. Once you get to that point, there's a lot of fun tech involved. Some things that we call like speed keeps, being able to maintain your speed booster the whole time, and obviously Flash Shift, being able to flash across sections pretty quickly. Alright, so Manny is in the second phase, opting not to go for the morph climb. You're able to spam reasonably quickly. It's not too much of a loss. That's a nice safe choice. Fort almost done with Kraid. Very nice. Good clean fight. Now we're able to see B-Dog making his way to Grapple, going back down to Arcaria. There are a couple of tricks to get to the elevator there. Unfortunately, I missed looking at Arc's stream, but the movement is just a couple of what we call, there's a coyote jump, where if you, I don't even remember how it was named that, but if you slide out of a morph area, or even just slide off of a regular ledge, so excuse me, just a ledge, then you're able to delay your jump by a little bit, so it gets you a little more distance. And there are a couple sections where you can do that to slide and then jump across the little gap. And we'll see once Fortify and Manny approach that to be able to get across an area where we theoretically shouldn't have been able to, but it's a really nice piece of tech to be able to get to Grapple early. Okay, B-Dog has obtained Grapple, and we'll now head up to backtrack up towards Dairon to be able to get Bombs. And there is Fortify now approaching this trick, so you just do a coyote jump out and then turn back around to wall jump, gives you enough distance. And then the second one as well, squeaking through that little area. If you delay the jump, then you're able to make that little extra distance to grab the ledge across. The second coyote jump in that section is pretty scary, because even though it's not horribly difficult, if you do fall down, you will die there. There's no way to be able to get up out of the lava. So it's not overly difficult, but it is a high pressure trick just because of the stakes. Easily a 30-second loss if that happens. Okay, so now Arc is approaching the yellow Emmy zone. Good RNG there, not having to face the yellow Emmy. There's a pattern that you get where you might have to Phantom Cloak just to hide from the Emmy for a second. So it loses a second or two, depending on how quickly you're able to move. But good RNG there for Arc to be able to get past there. Alright, Fortify now approaching Grapple. And B-Dog got the bad RNG. Able to cloak well. Nice, able to escape there without any trouble. it's one of those things that as long as your inputs are good up until that encountering the enemy, you should be fine. But one little misinput and you could be in big trouble. Good to see them both make it past there. And now they're able to, there's Ark getting bombs. Bombs obviously a very nice upgrade. You can use it for a decent amount of stuff. And in this case, for top runners, they go and use it to be able to get flash shift quickly by using what is called backdoor flash. So you'll see it, I believe, from all 4 runners today. I could be mistaken, but at least see it from a couple of them. Backdoor flash, you essentially infinitely bomb jump in the air over top of a I don't remember what they're called actually, but the flash door that is blocking you from getting to flash shift over the top. You're able to bomb jump over it, and then it opens up, and then you can just pass the door. The sensor doesn't activate. Normally, you would go underneath and go through the water, which is a little bit of time. There's a fun little tech with bombs. There's lots of different fun things you can do with bombs like that to be able to save time. Okay, so Manny is coming back from grapple. And Ark is now heading to our first new area. After we've been in these first 3 areas for quite a while, Berenia is the next area we get to see. Very nice area visually. Kind of water-based. So there is a decent amount of water in the area that you have to traverse. But again, very, very nice to look at. So we'll see B-Dog going that way as well. Alright, so Fortify is approaching the bomb room. And Manny is getting there too. Now, once Ark is able to secure flash shift, this is where you'll be able to start to see some movement that is a lot of fun, visually and for the player. Lots of fun stuff when you're able to pull it off well. But the approach is mostly just trying to get through a handful of enemies as quickly as possible, not take any damage. A couple grapples here and there. Oh, that's a nice little bomb hop over. I don't think I've seen that before. I know some people, there's a couple ways you can do it. There's a parry animation that loads the enemy that Ark just hopped over. I want to see how B-Dog handles that. It's fun little variations in how you can approach those things. Some people shoot it if you're able to. I believe it's 5 missiles. So B-Dog is shooting it, and he took it out. Very nice. That can be tricky to do. It's actually deceptively difficult because you have to have a good fire rate for your missiles. Some people shoot it. I tend to parry it just because it's a simpler way to do it. And then we saw Ark there bomb over it, do a little bomb slide. Alright, so Ark is setting up the bomb jump over the backdoor flash door. Having a little bit of trouble getting it going. This trick is very precise. It's very rhythmic. Back and forth, back and forth. Okay, got it. Took a couple tries, but able to get it. And B-Dog doing it as well. That looks, yeah, there it is. Very nice. That trick can also be a spot that can get players hung up. I believe going underneath ends up losing maybe 10, 12 seconds by the time it's all said and done. Not a ton of time loss, but it's definitely worth going for it if you can get it first couple tries. Ideally first try, but now there's a couple of pseudos that Ark and B-Dog will be doing that were discovered a while back. This one is actually a pause buffered one where you can change your input on the pause screen. So they actually will turn while they're kneeling kind of away from the shot that they need to make. But then when they pause, they'll angle it down and to the right a little bit. There's a specific angle that you can get your control stick at. And then when you unpause and you let go of the shot button before you unpause, and it'll automatically fire. And that's another one of those pseudos you can use to break a blob that you wouldn't normally be able to hit. So pretty cool tech. Sometimes it can look kind of funky visually if you're looking at the pauses when you see that. But it is a really nice trick, able to save a good handful of seconds over going all the way down to break the blobs from underneath. Excuse me. All right, so now Fortify is approaching backdoor flash. Hopefully he is able to have some good luck with this. Looks like a good setup so far. Ooh, unmorphed. That was interesting. I don't know if it was completely intentional, but he was able to land where he needed to. So that was very nice. Good first try. Alright, so now it is the yellow Emmy kill for both Ark and B-Dog, approaching that pretty quickly. Looks like B-Dog is actually taking over the lead from Ark. They were pretty close throughout. Ark had a little bit of a lead, but B-Dog now taking a lead. I think that backdoor flash struggled from Ark, but B-Dog ahead. So they're both going to be taking out the yellow Emmy. This Emmy is one where I said could cause quite a bit of trouble if you don't get the inputs lined up right. I would expect these guys to be able to ace it first try. No biggie there. Very nice angle from B-Dog coming right out of the door. Same from Ark. Keep the Emmy right where it is. Able to get off both shots before it even approaches you. Alright, so Manny is doing the pseudos. Fortify was able to escape those. And now Manny's going to do a quick little water bomb jump. Oof. Not quite able to get that first try. It can be finicky. That is definitely a difficult setup there. But now that the yellow Emmy's down, for B-Dog and Arg, we get to see Speed Booster. Movement-wise, the most useful thing in the game, I would say. That might be a little bit of a harsh take, because Flash Shift can definitely give us a lot of things. So B-Dog does not go for the missile, or the energy tank that's right there. I don't think Ark is going to go for it either. There's one that's accessible right there to be able to pick up a third energy tank. And it can really help with a couple of the fights later on, just to give yourself a little buffer, but these are top runners that we're talking about, so they opt for just the 2 tanks, going for the fastest time possible. There are a couple places where you'd have to be a little more careful if your health got low, but they obviously have encountered all those situations and doing all the reps to be able to figure out what you do with how much health, how safe you have to play it, all those kinds of things. So they're going to be heading up to where we visit Quiet Robe up in Ferenia, and they are going to have a quick conversation that is cut short by a robot. This robot can be a little bit difficult, but you're able to do a quick kill because of Speed Booster that we were just introduced to. Nice. B-Dog able to get the speed keep there. Do it right onto the platform, and Ark as well, just right behind him. Very close from both of them. Oh! B-Dog missed the first store. Okay, got the second one. That's good. And able to deboost through that. Very nice. Okay, good recovery. Able to get the quick kill. Ark has got that one. Alright. Very nice from both runners. Being able to read where the robot goes is somewhat RNG. What it does. And you just kind of have to react off of it to be able to get a quick speed booster. You're able to store, utilizing the damage boost. You have iframes, invincibility frames right after that, and you can run through it, run through the robot to be able to get that speed booster, store the Shine Spark. Shine Spark does a lot of damage when you're able to store it up, so we use that for quite a few enemy interactions when we're able to. Alright, so Fortify did opt to go for that third tank. Which is a very nice option. It gives us quite a bit of liberty towards the end of the run to not have to worry so much about health. It's essentially peace of mind, I feel like, because I feel like both Manny and Fortify would be able to run with 2 tanks. It's more just a, do you want to have to reset because you didn't get the health? Which in this case we can't reset, so definitely a good idea to go for that third one. Alright, so now we get to see some of this really fun movement. Heading back down towards Berenia now, and we get to oh, very nice speed keep from Ark. Getting that last section, that was very difficult stuff. I don't think I've seen that in a race recently. Somebody being able to get that all the way down, but bouncing off the walls, approaching it from the top and going down is much harder than being able to keep the speed going up. Wall jumps going up, obviously, you automatically wall jump up. But very nice movement there. B-Dog just a few seconds ahead of Arc, heading into Berenia again. And now we get to see Fort doing the bot. Okay, able to get... Oh no, the Insta-Spark! Oh, that's unfortunate. That has happened to me more times than I would care to admit. We'll have to see what happened with that once the feed is able to come back. But Manny approaching on the elevator. And we'll wish him good luck with the bot as well. Okay, so it looks like Fort was able to get out of there. And Manny was able to get that speed keep as well, very nice. Blaze straight into the bot. Okay. Oh, that might have been a little early. Nice save, that was a good store. Okay, so here's the bot again, he gets a second one. And, oh, didn't quite store it there. Hopefully be able to store it this time, very nice. I believe that was just 3 attempts. Okay. So Arc opting to go for the ball spark there. Nice movement from B-Dog to approach. Now this is our first boss, besides the broken enemy. This is our first boss fight, we'll say, that is different from any percent up until this point. This is Drog, we call it. I don't actually know how you'd say the full name. Dragaija, maybe? But Drog is a water boss, like a sea plant. But in the past several months, there was some tech discoveries. By the time I even finished trying to talk about this, they're already going to be done. They discovered a 1 cycle, so you only have to deal with 1 animation of Drog opening up and you being able to damage it. Because the damage you do to its kind of tail that connects to the top, that does the electricity, that's just to be able to open it up and be able to shoot its tongue, whatever you want to call that thing. And for a while, it was always a 2-cycle fight. You'd have to shoot it for a little bit and then reset, hit its tail, and then or tentacle, I guess you'd call it, and then do that again. But they figured out a 1 cycle, which is very nice for that boss. Saves, I believe, like 18-20 seconds, depending on the runner. It could be a little more, a little less, but very nice tech there from both of them, able to get the 1 cycle. Fun boss if it goes well. Obviously, if you miss the 1 cycle, it's a big loss, so it can really hurt. So it'll be fun to see. Hopefully Manny and Fortify can get that as well. Now, up in Gavarin, B-Dog, and I'll assume Arc is pretty close there. This is the next bot, robot that they have to fight. This is probably the biggest reason I would take 3 E-Tanks, depending on your health situation and leading into this boss. It can be very difficult. So you'll see B-Dog will just slide right into the robot to take damage, because taking damage from the body of the bot by incidental contact, just bumping into it, I believe it only does 45, so 40 or 50 damage. I can't remember which increment it is, but it's less than whatever weapon the robot is using. So Arc had to get a little lower on health there, but good fight from him as well. But it is much easier, it's much safer to just take the health hit from the body of the robot than to get hit by its ammo. So that's what you'll see for a lot of enemies. You'll see the runners take a hit to the body and then just keep spamming whatever they're using, charge beams or missiles or just regular shots. So now they have, you saw B-Dog just collect Super Missile. This is the second upgrade for this is the first upgrade for the missile. Second missile in the game, besides just regular missiles. And this allows them to be able to go to Elune. And that is where you're able to get Plasma Beam. So there's a couple of these upgrades as you go through the game. Oh, very nice deboost from B-Dog. One where there's a big whale there in that exit room. If you're able to bump into it the right way, it can send you flying, and runners have figured out how to utilize that to send them, see if Arc is, okay, so Arc opts not to go for that. Still very nice movement leaving Gavarin. But Fort and Manny are over in, I missed Fort doing his fight, but Manny is doing that as well. I believe he was just starting, so hopefully he'll be able to get the 1 cycle. Okay, he did get that fight. So far, good material from everybody. No crazy hiccups or anything. Everybody's still alive. Oh, Manny missed the grapple there. Such a frustrating sequence. Okay, good save. That section can be such a stinker, being able to get up to that elevator. Okay, so in Elune, we're able to secure, as I said, Plasma Beam. It's a green beam, a little bit stronger, able to open more doors. So there's always the doors are always locked behind some kind of an item. So you always are, when you're in a Metroid game, trying to explore for the next item to be able to get access to all of the green doors or the purple doors or whatever it is. But another cool thing about Elune is that we get to see our first Chozo Soldier fight coming up very soon. And the Chozo Soldiers are a lot of fun. They can be difficult, and if you're not careful, you can die in those fights because they really pack a punch, carry a spear. Very, very cool looking enemies. But they're really fun quick kills. I believe we'll see them. This is the first... I believe this is the first time we would see them weave, where they use both missiles and the plasma beam in this case. I could be mistaken on when they first weave. I might have missed one, or it might not be quite yet, but weaving would make sense here. Yeah, so we'll see right there. You can kind of see the fire from our candy. You can see super missiles is a nice animation, because after this would be ice missiles, but both are a nice animation to be able to see when they're firing the missile as well as the plasma beam, because it explodes. It gives a little flame, so you can see how quickly he's shooting those missiles while he's also mashing the regular beam, which is crazy stuff. Very difficult to pull off. And B-Dog already zoomed through that. Very nice from both players. About to approach the hardest cutscene skip in the game. This, when I was first running, even any percent, saying we have to go to Elune the same in any percent, I always forgot this cutscene. In between the Elune to Gavarin train, I would always forget and be like looking at something else or like looking at my phone, and all of a sudden be like, oh man, I gotta skip this. Okay, so B-Dog got the skip. Very nice cutscene skip there from B-Dog. Actually, yeah, our good friend Grub Dog was not the same as B-Dog. Grub Dog actually has a split on his, when he does his splits, labeled cutscene skip, just because early when he was running it also struggled remembering too, so it's pretty funny. Oh, very nice tech from B-Dog. Bad spawn from the Ice Emmy, but he was able to kill that right out of existence. That spawn, when it spawns right in front of the door where you saw he just went right over it. Oh, that was an interesting... Okay, so Art got caught. Able to spark there, though. That's interesting tech. I don't think I've seen that before. Arc has a couple things that I've not really seen, but very nice. Able to escape the Emmy. That was very close. One thing that you can learn from seeing the top speedrunning is even if the players are in a tight spot, at the top players, I should say, usually they have it under control. Not always, but even when it looks like they're frames away from death, they have usually rehearsed that scene over and over again, and you can trust them to be able to pull it off. Alright, so now Fortify picking up Plasma Beam, and Manny's not too far behind. Okay, so Ice Emmy's down. Ice Emmy is definitely a difficult kill when you first start getting into this. Trying to practice that ceiling kill coming from the left side is very difficult. We would do it with the yellow Emmy as well, but I feel like it's more difficult with the Ice Emmy just because of how angled it is. It's far away, and you've got to make sure that you keep with it. So glad to see them be able to get past that with no issues. Okay, now coming up very quickly, this is one of the routes. This is one of the deviations in the route as well, where we will take Spin Boost instead of Space Jump. And B-Dog is going to be doing there's a flash shift version of what we call ledge warping, where he'll flash shift back to the ledge, and then having a certain animation play. If you morph at the right time, then it's able to store. Okay, so there's Arc doing the other version where you just kind of hop over the ledge. And if you store the ledge, if you store the morph at a very specific frame, right before Samus mounts a ledge, then you're able to... It's basically that animation is stored with Samus while she's morphed. So as long as you don't morph, you can pull it back out whenever you need it. So you just jump in morph ball form, facing the direction that you were facing when you ledge warped. So whatever ledge you were trying to mount, you just turn that direction. So in this case, they would turn left to face the ledge. And then once you want to warp back to the ledge, you will face that direction and unmorph in the air, and it'll immediately take you back there, as you saw them able to do. So that can save a good handful of seconds, not having to go backtrack all the way through that section. That section can be quite tricky. Having to deal with the water and just going back around and doing the bombs, it's definitely slower. But there's another warrior that they're able to get very quickly. And so now they'll be heading down. They'll do a little trick to be able to get down to Berenia again and grab Gravity Suit. They're able to see every time I'm practicing this, whenever I'm in the living room. My daughter is always doing a little dance whenever I get Gravity Suit. Purple suit, purple suit, purple suit. It is very purple, friends. Very nice looking suit. Arc a little late with that store. Okay, made it in time. Got plenty of time for that one, but good stuff so far. Arc and B-Dog very, very close together. B-Dog gaining a little bit. Should be like 5 seconds, 6 seconds, somewhere around there. Still very up in the air. Obviously, for this case, Qualifier, whoever comes in first isn't necessarily awarded anything, but it'll be a lot of fun for us viewers to be able to see some tight finishes, get good qualifying times up there. So it'll be good to see how we're able to have this end. Alright, so Manny now approaching a blue Emmy kill. Fortify able to take that out with no trouble. Here's a little Shine Spark puzzle that Arc and B-Dog are doing. That's a lot of fun. Oh. Arc not quite able to get the blocks broken there. That can be really frustrating. Got it on the second try, though. Able to slide down. Very nice. So now they are approaching Gravity Suit. This suit is, I believe is a series staple. Allows you to move freely through the water as if it wasn't hindering you, which is a very nice ability in late game. Because there's a lot of water sections, especially when you go back into Ferenia when you're dealing with the eventual purple Emmy. There's a lot of water sections. It also, Purple Suit, Gravity Suit, also opens up the way for cold rooms. You're able to go into cold climates without being bothered. So that's also very nice. I'm probably going to refer to it as the Purple Suit quite often, friends. My daughter has brainwashed me. It is Gravity Suit, though. Alright, so good movement from them, leaving Ferenia to get over. And now we will see a very cool section of the game. Lots of fun movement, and then probably one of the most fun bosses in the game. This is Frozen Artaria, leading into Cataris, so now we get to see Artaria again. But this time it is all frozen over. Ice everywhere. It is very pretty. I actually very much enjoy the visuals for this area. It is something to see. So there is B-Dog approaching there's a red Chozo soldier that we will take out here, get a Shine Spark, be able to get the first phase done quickly. And there's Arc coming right behind him. So we got that first phase down, and now B-Dog just has to mash his way to victory. For the people that do the weaving, if you're able to missile quickly enough, you're able to just take both of the hits that the Chozo does to you, and then get out of there. So very nice to just basically just stand there and mash. Alright, so there's Arc Candy doing it as well. Very good mashing from both players. Obviously, they have very elite mashes. Fun stuff to watch for fans. I know I'm a fan, at least. Alright, so now some fun movement. This area can be pretty tricky. There's a lot of enemies here, and the damage, this is kind of the area I feel like if you were to play the game a little bit more casually the difficulty kind of ramp up in terms of just general enemy interaction. Oh, B-Dog not able to get that. Oh, that's such a stinker. That section is such a difficult thing to do. And Ark was trying to get a short boost. Interesting choice there. I'm surprised he just didn't go to the next room to get the Shine Spark, or to get the store. Opted for that. Lost a couple seconds, but not too big of a deal. I didn't see how long he was in the room, but unfortunate there for both players having to get up there. That section is definitely difficult to be able to keep your speed and not to be able to avoid the enemies and everything. All right, so B-Dog is finally out of Artaria. Ark not too far behind. Lost a few more seconds over this last bit of movement, but still certainly within reach. Okay, Manny is able to get past that Shine Spark puzzle with no difficulty. If you get to the bottom of that puzzle and mess it up there, you have to go all the way back up to the top, and it is so deflating. Probably a good 20 seconds that you lose there just having to redo that whole sequence. If you mess it up at the top, you can just redo it like you saw Ark do, where it didn't quite get those blocks to break. So you can just reset, but at the bottom you have to go all the way back up. There's no place down there to store a Shine Spark to be able to get the speed booster you need. Alright, so B-Dog is approaching Z-Boss. Huh. The Z57 is the next boss that you face there. The Experiment. Very difficult boss, casually and really speedrunning too. It definitely takes some good, some accurate hitting. As you can see, he's using the turnaround charge missile, using a charge shot and a missile together to be able to get as much hit. That very nice, very clean phase 1. I believe he also got good RNG because sometimes Z57 can swipe you. And that an animation, if it does it twice, sometimes it'll do it a couple times, will cost you like 10 seconds. Really unfortunate. There's nothing you can do about it there. Okay, so both Manny and Fortify heading back to Frozen, so we get to see that movement again as well. All right, good kill from B-Dog. Very, very well done. And then Ark is going to go for the store at the end as well. Do a little bit of platforming here. Hop over these obstacles and then store Spark to annihilate Z57. This animation always gets me. I love how it looks. He's just completely helpless. Alright, very nice. Well done to those runners. Okay, so we get to see Frozen again for Manny and Fortify. There's a pretty cool speed keep there from Ark. I didn't see if the missed that part. That's unfortunate. Those inputs can be pretty finicky sometimes. If you get a little bit out of sync, you can end up missing one of them and losing it. But there's Fortify fighting that red Chosen Soldier again. Good mashing, able to get through that pretty quickly. And now it gets to do the fun movement, which can sometimes turn into the not so fun movement. This is the easiest you will ever see us grab Screw. Screw attack is always, it feels like it's always difficult to grab. And then in all bosses, you just pick it up. Feed froze a little bit there, but B-Dog was in the middle of picking up Screw attack. So we'll see him have that in a little bit. Screw attack is a very nice power-up for enemies. And they're able to make a very good use of that later on in the run for just cleaning up stuff quickly. Getting stuff out of the way, or for a couple bosses, you're able to use that if you need to. For SQ, one of the bosses later on, that is the strat, Screw attacking on it. Very, very convenient kill. Oh. I'm not sure what happened with the, something happened to Manny there for the speed keep. Unfortunately not able to, or for the Shine Spark store. Alright, so Fortify moving through the end of Frozen. Has a little bit more to go before he can get up to approach Z57. Fun boss, but it can be pretty nerve-wracking, depending on how it goes. Okay, so there is the entrance to Barenia. That section, actually, for what B-Dog was just doing, is actually quite difficult, because it involves what Arcandy's doing right there. You have to store a Shine Spark at the bottom, and then break some screw attack blocks to be able to give yourself space to actually Shine Spark all the way up, because if you don't, the screw attack blocks will stop your Shine Spark, and then you won't be able to get the height because we are running with Spin Boost. So if you don't get the trick, you have to go back and store a Shine Spark again to be able to get up there. And then a couple of bomb jumps where you basically just do bomb timing back to back to be able to keep going up and up. Place the bombs properly, and you'll be able to climb. But those couple of tricks in sequence can be a little finicky. If either one isn't in rhythm, you can have trouble. So glad to see them be able to get through that quickly. Alright, Manny on Z57 now, and Fort is about to start. Being able to take those claws quickly is a little different than in the normal setup, because fighting Z57 in all bosses, you don't have storm missiles, which it's expected that you would have storm missiles for this boss in just a normal playthrough, which we get with F-Skew, who we do a little bit later in the run. So those are not available to us, so you have to just shoot them individually pretty quickly. Very nice kill for Manny, though. Very clean. Oh! I didn't see exactly what happened there. I saw B-Dog's feed was a little bit broken up. I believe he must have had a death there. Ah, that's unfortunate. So I'm pretty sure I saw that the animation was him going into Golzuna, and then had to come back out. Alright, so Arcandy did take the lead back by a couple seconds. Pretty close now. That's very unfortunate. That fight can be very finicky if the timing gets a little bit off. So they're both approaching the cross bomb room. Fortify in the middle of the Caterus escape now, trying to move on to Barenia again. But you gotta do the screw attack pickup on the way. It's like a little bonus. It is funny, I still laugh at it how it works in this route. You just kind of pick it up on the way like it's nothing. Screw attack short boost, the main route for any percent is such, at least for no major glitches that is such a difficult trick that like going to this and just picking up screw on the way gives you a good laugh. Okay. Kind of funny, everybody was on transitions there for a minute. Either traveling or getting an item. Nice little lull for the viewers. Catch your breath. There's a lot of stuff. Late game gets very packed. Okay. So they leave Gavarin to be able to go to Hanubia, excuse me. And then they are able to they just go from Hanubia straight down to Ferenia. So they're just using Hanubia as like a pit stop. That's basically what Hanubia is. Just a pit stop. Go up there, come down to Ferenia, go back up to Hanubia, and grab power bombs to be able to go up and get gold. Gold Chozo later on. I've been really enjoying this perspective, being able to commentate it, just to see the runners do their thing and me not have to worry about doing my thing. No pressure on me to perform, I can just watch these guys. But very nice stuff so far today. Good runs. I hope the players are happy with what they've been able to do. And hopefully we'll be able to see a good finish. Based on how they're moving right now, maybe we could even see 2 paired finishes. That would be fun. You'll see a couple photo finishes from the players, but we'll see. This is a very fun movement section in Ferenia that Ark and B-Dog are dealing with. Oh my! That was not expected. Very unfortunate. Ark was moving so fast that he bumped into the leg of the Emmy. I feel that. That is a really demoralizing situation. Alright. Fortify finishing up the twin fight. Looks like he got a little bit behind Manny there, but is approaching the teleportal. Man, there's so much stuff in this late game now, because now you see B-Dog getting into SQ. And Arc, because of that death now, B-Dog is able to take the lead there. Ooh, B-Dog going for one cycle on the core. So there's a very quick way to be able to kill that core X. After you take out SQ, you have to take out the core. Normally it would be 3 hits if you were just using like screw attack in this case, the way that we would do it. Ooh, Arc missed the second spin there. That's going to be a little bit of a tricky setup. Okay, so I think he's just going to do... Okay, so he's just respinning as well. They both, I believe, just had to go with the basic 3 cycle. There are a couple ways you can do that a little bit faster. Saves a couple seconds. But either way, good SQ kill, is able to get out of there with not too much trouble. Now Manny is on Golzuna, and Fortify is approaching it very quickly as well. Oh, Manny missed the store. Oh no. Oh no. Oh my goodness. Such a scam. Alright, got the third one. Oh boy. That was something else. Missed two of the sparks. Okay, so now Manny and Fort are pretty close together. Good stuff from both runners. Alright, Arc is on the twin Chozos again. There's a couple robots. There's a couple twins. We saw the fight in Berenia earlier, and then this pair as well. This pair is a little easier. I don't remember. I believe their health is less than the Berenia one. I can't remember exactly how that works out, but it is generally an easier fight. You're able to store that Shine Spark going into it, which makes a big difference to be able to take out the health on that first one. But both getting ready to approach the purple Emmy. Quick kill on this one can be very tight. And in order to be able to stand in place when you're trying to shoot the Emmy for what these guys are going to go for, I believe you can only miss 4 shots. So the way that the Omega Cannon, when it's doing its shooting its beams, not the charge, but just the beams, you'll see them like pelting it. If you miss 4 of those shots as the Emmy is approaching, then you have to jump over it, which can be very stressful. Very tight space for what these guys are going to go for. So we'll see B-Dog approaching that first. Depending on the Emmy spawn, I believe, determines how quickly it'll approach you. But he will be lining that up. You just got to track it down the wall, as he's doing right now. A little bit hard for me to see how many shots he's missed, but it looks like it should be good. I think he missed maybe 2. Yeah, so he's able to get the slide under. And then you just charge it up right down here. Bam. Very nice. And Arc is approaching the exact same spot. He's got to slide down with it. Oh! Missed quite a bit there. I believe he is going to have to jump over. And he does. Missed that second try, but you've got 3 tries with this. As long as you get the jump over, you should be okay. The jump over is the biggest part, because you're able to give yourself a little bit of space to reset. Very nice. Arc able to get the backup. I apologize for anybody if you're able to hear the rain on my window. It is, the wind is blowing it right into the screen. A little bit noisy, but if you hear that in the background, that's what's going on. Alright, so now Manny and Fort are very close together. This is very entertaining for me, to be able to see them. I love seeing close, even, like I said, we've said before, this isn't really a race, since they're just trying to qualify, but it is a lot of fun to see close times. Alright. So Arc and B-Dog are making the escape up to Nubia. This is where it really gets fun. I feel like the material for endgame is just several fights back to back to back, leading up to escape. You fight the red Chozo to be able to grab power bombs, which helps you to leave quicker. And then you are able to fight gold Chozo, most difficult Chozo in the game, very beefy. And once you do that, then you are able to go up and fight Ravenbeak. So all 3 fights, very technical. None of them is crazy difficult, but it depends on what kind of strats you try to use. Okay, so Manny was able to get Storm pretty quickly. See a good fight from B-Dog on the right side. And there is Arc pretty close behind him, able to get to that screen. Okay, was finally able to get the core there. Lost a little bit of time on Manny from that SQ fight. And Arc able to take out Red Chozo as well. This cutscene for Samus getting the power bombs takes a little bit, because first it shows this whole kill, and then it shows Samus going over and picking up the power up from the Emmy. So it takes a little bit longer to show all of that sequence. Alright, Manny got the spark, able to start off the twins very well, getting good D-boost there. Ooh, not quite able. Okay, there he goes. As I say, he only had a couple shots left on that one twin. Sometimes they can be a little difficult with how they move. Good kill, though. Able to get out of there quickly. It's now able to approach Purple Emmy. And there's Fortify going for his match. Good opts for the Storms first, just to melt that first one. And the second one, very nice fight. Alright, so now B-Dog is approaching Gold Chozo. Fun fight, except for the fact that it wallops you if you get hit. It does so much damage. So you just have to be really careful. I believe with 2 tanks, you could only take 2 hits. As in, 2 hits would kill you, so you could essentially only take 1 hit. You have to be really careful there. So you see B-Dog opting to go over top just because he can't afford to take another hit. You'd rather give yourself that margin to accidentally get hit, rather than take intentional damage early and then have to get it later, or to avoid the hit later. So it could be very risky going into that with a no-hit policy. Ooh, for getting up there. Okay, able to make it. Gets the store, gets the central unit. This is like the quickest central unit in the game because we have Shine Spark and Screw Attack. Able to just melt it, break the shield, and then immediately poke it in the body. Nice clean. Okay, so Manny's opting to go for a slightly safer strat on the Purple Emmy. This one where you just go through the tunnel a little bit, line up a shot, and have it approach you. And then you're able to back up a little further if you need to. So in this case, he was able to melt it in time. Gets the shot right down there. Very nice. That was a clean kill. And now Fort will do the slightly faster strat. Missed a little bit. Is going to have to jump over. Can be very tight jumping over this guy. Nice. That's very clean. If you aren't able to shoot it quickly enough at the top, yeah, this is going to be a... very nice. Able to give himself enough space there. If you aren't able to shoot it quickly enough on the top, then if you're not careful, you can end up getting bonked by it when it breaks. So when it breaks, it actually sticks its head out a little bit, and then you have to do the parry. It's a very unfortunate sequence. All right, so Arc and B-Dog kind of took a little pause there. They are both in Ravenbeak now, doing what we call gold skip, where you're able to get Ravenbeak to initiate a parry sequence if you were able to mash enough by doing enough damage. Sometimes using storm missiles, mostly using storm missiles to start it. Then you can actually skip a phase that we call gold phase, because Ravenbeak becomes invincible. And in that case, you can't damage him until he decides to taunt you for a parry again. So it's just wasted time waiting on Ravenbeak to decide whenever he feels like fighting again. So there's a way you can manipulate that so you get enough damage to just completely bypass that. Both runners getting that very easily. Great mashes to be able to do so. Good fight so far. Seeing a lot of weaving from both players. Melting the boss. Very nice. Okay, we're within a couple seconds now, friends. This could be a very nice finish. Leading into escape. First, you have to get rid of X-Raven. Craven, as I call it. But this kill is pretty straightforward. Just time the hyper beam. With the right breathing signal from X-Raven, and then you can finish it off. Alright, so B-Dog probably, let's see here, maybe like 5 seconds ahead. It's all going to come down to endgame movement. If Arc is able to get a good spark, there's the Arc Spark, it's named after him for a reason. Depending on movement there, could determine how this plays out. But if B-Dog handles his business, he should be able to come out with the win there. Alright, so Fortify finishing up power bombs. And Manny moving on his way out of power bombs as well. Got a little bit of an edge there. Oh no! Arc not able to get the Shine Spark angled a little bit for him. That is so unfortunate. That's probably going to do it in terms of B-Dog keeping his lead. Very well done from both players, though. Live run's definitely a very difficult thing to be able to put out. Perfect run. Going for the Arc Spark. Able to get that part. Look at that. Can he keep the ball? Very nice. Able to keep the spark there. But B-Dog about to... Oh no! B-Dog fell down. Gonna have to take the full slow ending. But B-Dog coming in with a 1:16.46. Great time for a race setting. And R-Candy right behind them, 1:16.53. Very, very, very well done from those racers. Great times. And now we get to see Manny being able to take out Gold Chozo quickly. Now Fortify's going to be approaching the same. Okay, here we are. Gold Chozo able to get the storms. And Manny heading up to Itarash. Good mashing. Able to get down that phase pretty quickly. Alright, so now Manny's going to be approaching the end. That last room in Itarash, when you need to blow up all the stuff, if you don't get the Shine Spark correctly, can be annoying. It's not overly difficult, but running down the slope is, at the very end there, storing the spark can feel a little weird compared to some other places. Alright, so now Ford is heading up the same way. Going to see Itarash, and now Manny will say hi to Ravenbeak. I believe in his previous runs, Manny has opted for the 9+1, as we call it, so it's a type of gold skip that's a little bit slower than the gold skip that the other runners use. Basically, you get Ravenbeak up to enough damage so that the next time that Ravenbeak fights, it's not gold. He is not gold. He just uses the wave. So you use the red wave. It's enough damage for him to do what Manny just did. Perfect there. Perfect execution there for the 9+1. And able to... so it's like a 2-part gold skip, in a sense. A little more approachable, more consistent. Very well done. I believe Fortify is going to go for gold skip, so might be able to bring some time back. The Storm Missile there. Red Wave gold skip. Gonna get... Going for 1 Storm Missile, so this is a bit heavier of a mash. Very well done. And now Manny exiting phase 2. For people who don't choose to weave in this instance, which is a lot of us, doing cross bombs and missiles together, as many as you can fit in together, is the optimal way to fight third phase. Just keep planting them, take body damage from Ravenbeak, just the same as some of the other enemies we fight. Unfortunately, Manny getting not able to keep missiles there because of the way that Ravenbeak's RNG worked, running out early. Chose not to take the counter. Should be getting reasonably close to the end. Very nice. Good call on not taking the counter there. Usually have a feel of how many missiles you've done when you get to that point, and if you're close to the end, taking the counter is slower because of all the animation. Just having to do all of the different phases of that counter animation. Alright, so Fortify should be coming up right behind him. A couple more missiles. Very nice. Take the counter. And begin the final kill on Ravenbeak X to start escape. I feel like this has been a really fun race to be able to see kind of a range of results in terms of just what things can go wrong or what things can go well in a run when you're doing it in a live situation. Just kind of go with what you have. Whatever happens, happens. It takes a lot of patience to be able to put up with this kind of stuff. But very impressive what these runners are able to do in a live setting. Obviously, plenty of hours behind closed doors. Sometimes they stream as well, but putting in all the hours to be able to perform for all of us. Getting to the escape for both Fort and Manny. Just a little material left to be able to cross the finish line. I have always had notoriously awful escapes after I got it, like when I got a PB. Because I was ahead by a certain amount and I just let off the gas or something. But escape can be difficult mentally once you've gotten through all the other material coming after Ravenbeak and everything. Alright. So Manny approaching the last sequence. Gonna opt a speed boost there and store the spark. Spark there and then just take the last sequence normally. Alright, GG's to Manny. Time of 1:22:29. Very well done. And Fortify approaching the last section, can opt to do the speed keep here. A little wall jumping. Oh, just missed that last sequence. Spin boost can definitely throw you for a loop. Doing this last escape, very different, but very nice from Fortify as well. Time of 1:22. A little bit of a late timer, I believe it should be 1:22:55. I was looking at 56, somewhere in there, but solid times for a race setting from everybody. Big GG's to all four runners. To Fort, R-Candy, Manny, and B-Dog. Obviously, there were other racers as well, besides those that we were able to feature for you today. They were able to run alongside these runners to be able to get all of us in for qualifying. This is a very nice qualifier, number 5. I'm glad that I was able to commentate, be able to spectate. Honestly, commentating is just spectating, be able to chat about it. I talk too much. You can ask my wife about that. Talk too much when I'm playing, babbling on and on about meaningless stuff. But yeah, there's a lot of fun tech in this game, a lot of fun stuff to pull off. Very exciting for a race setting because the end game sequence is reasonably long, several minutes. So even if somebody's a couple minutes behind somebody else, then you'll be able to see them at least in Ravenbeak or so. Very entertaining to watch. In this case, we were able to see a couple pairs with a B-Dog and Arc finished, and then we were able to focus on Manny and Fortify. So GG's to everybody again for being able to finish up all of that. Be able to move on. I know from a runner's perspective, it probably doesn't always feel the greatest, but great for viewers. This is a great game to watch. I hope everybody who was able to watch the stream today enjoyed. I believe, for our part, that this should be a wrap. Thank you to everybody from Speedgaming who was a part of this, able to make this happen for us. All of the admins that are putting in the work, people that do the stuff behind the scenes to make sure that the setup is what it needs to be able to get the stream looking great. Really appreciate them. A big thanks to all of the people who have put our part together as well from the Dread side, especially to Satora and Justin Zane, and all the work that they've been able to do to make this event happen. So you got a couple more qualifiers coming up. If you're able to, qualifier number 6 will be tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern. I believe that's on Speedgaming 4, if I remember correctly. We're here on Speedgaming 3 right now. That one should be on Speedgaming 4. Should be some more great racing, more people featured, get to see a little more material before we wrap up this weekend and get ready to release the bracket for the official races. So I believe that's going to do it for me. I hope you all are going to have a great weekend, watching Dread, of course, as we all are. But yeah, have a good one, everybody. Hope to see you out when we have the next races. Take care, everyone.